I'm Bat. I'm the project manager of the project on GamePipe online game server library, which is developed as a part of the network games class. And this is actually the first release of GOGS library. Actually, what is GOGS? The GOGS library is a research effort towards creating a highly scalable, enterprise-grade, massively multiplayer online game server library, which is extensible and easy to use. And this is the first release of the GOGS library, and it actually is an effort towards making of more network-based games in the GamePipe lab. At the same time, helping people in enabling to create network games out of the existing games which were developed in the lab. So, how did this all start? It all started off with our goal in the start of this semester, where we referred the diagram which was given in virtual network games written by Zyla, and this diagram clearly shows about how the various modules of a generic massively multiplayer online server game is, and what have we achieved till now. The release one actually achieves quite a lot of the existing things which are very essential. That is, we have the auth server, we have the accounting, the player persistence, game state servers, and of course the clients. So this was the things are clearly highlighted in red color, which clearly shows what we have achieved till now in this first release. So let me go to the features of this library. So the first main important feature is that this is very extremely easy to use. So the whole point being that since we want to enable other people to integrate this module to their games and test it, we made sure it is very easy, and it just takes 3 lines of code to get things working. And this itself is a very huge task because we try to make sure things are all there. So what are the 3 lines of code? It is nothing but we start a session, we start a gamer, and finally we just hook up the gamer with the session. And if we do that, it can use the existing libraries, like existing files and code for a generic purpose. And it is very easy to integrate into existing games, and that was our prime goal behind this project. So it's pretty simple, and to actually test it in real time, like we made use of the Penguins game, and it was pretty much easy to integrate. So it actually took just around 2 days to integrate the whole game with our networking module. And the main key behind this thing is that we have made it an event-based system. So what is an event in this case? The whole point being that an event is nothing but a happening which happens either in server or a client, but it affects all the computers or anything. So, for example, when the client logs in with a username and password, an auth connect event occurs in the which actually helps us in connecting the client to the auth server. So, any kind of messaging, any kind of things which are happening on the game is an event. And similarly, like a move, a send, a receive, everything is an event based. So creating an event based system actually helps a lot in making sure that you can just make use of the existing code and then copy and paste and bring in your own events. So it makes the life of people very simple, even though if they don't know network game programming. And there are some intrinsic and extrinsic operations which were made on client and server. Probably there are much more optimizations which we can do, but currently some of the optimizations include the running of rate control algorithm in the game state server, which actually has the control over the number of packets which we send in a period of time. And this is of course very important so that we do not clog in the server or all the network, and make sure we have a very smooth gameplay. And next, group, personal messaging, and voice chat. This was again one of the key things, because nowadays we have every network game or anything has a notion of clans and groups. So we made sure there were facilities for having groups. You can join a group, you can join a clan, you can talk with other people in your group. It can be used for a team game, and similarly voice chat. The voice chat, since we do not have a voice over IP server, we still have enabled voice chat over peer-to-peer connection. So actually, what happens is the group and personal messaging also counts for voice, which is pretty interesting. And some of the further improvements that can be made is based on area of interest, where just like in a real world system, I can talk something which can be heard till a particular distance, but after that nobody can hear. But for now, we have just implemented voice chat where you can even have conferences. So probably a future trend in gaming would be just play the game, keep testing it, at the same time have a voice chat between everyone who is playing the game, so you get to know the clear identity of what's happening. So that's a very interesting thing. And another thing which is pretty important, which may be used for simulation at the same time, is very important for us to debug. So that is logging and playback. So what any all the happenings in the client and server side is being written into log files in the client in the server side. So everything which happens, every movement which the client makes or anything, is being noted down by the server. And actually, one of the main thing is it helps us in debugging, but at the same time, it helps us in playback. Probably for now we have not used the playback system, but in the next follow-up course on network AI, we'll be creating bots for the same project. So at that time, we need to know how people react or how people move, so that we can even copy their actions and put it into packets and simulate the results. So that this also helps in unit testing. So it's a very important point. And then we have actually provided authentication server, so it does have the accounting and other stuff. At the same time, we actually have a lobby, so it is not necessary that people who play the game should always be inside the game. They can just take some rest in the lobby, and they can at the same time talk, chat, and do all sorts of stuff from the lobby, so that they can even take a rest away from the game. But at the same time, when you are on the game, inside the game, and you are coming back to the lobby, you preserve your state. So, and any MMOG cannot be an MMOG without player persistence. So all the actions of the client is being preserved. So the persistence of data is still existing. And then area of interest management. This is again a very important key issue, which should be used for any kind of MMOG. And for now, we have implemented basic area of interest and used it. But at the same time, we have implemented some more advancements in area of interest, but probably have not used in our current build. And we have the facility for currently the client and server are running in single threads, but we have given the facility of scaling it to multiple threads as well as multiple servers and clients. So this would probably be done in the next release of the thing. And the main point, which actually helps us push forward faster and stronger, is that we identified a lot of issues which can be used for the next generation of improvement, because this is not a project that is just going to be for this semester. It's going to be followed up by the next coming batches, and I think there will be a lot of improvements which you can see as the time progresses. And now let's go to the demo.